YouTube, welcome back to the end times where Archaon is back and he is ready to throw down hard on those who think they can survive the impending apocalypse that he brings. And that is what we are bringing. Now, I did read the comments that you all left last time. I like the idea that some of you had around, hey, the whole lore is Archaon is trying to unite all the factions. Got it. Well, we're definitely going to still clear out pretenders if we have to, but what I will do, and I like the way it's themed, we will see if we can submit Throg and Wulfric, but before I go do that, we need some easy pickings. We need some money and some growth. These dwarves are not going to be easy picking. We do have a lot of slow or fast movers, which can help, but they are armored. You can see there's a lot of them. So those are not the easy pickings that we're looking for at this time. Kislev is likely spamming pistoliers and crossbowmen, so also not necessarily going to be easy pickings. Hell Pit is fortified. There's not a lot of options that I love here right now for where we go. I mean, we could just go straight after Throg. Could. But I kind of want to think through the options. So right now, I have a lot of these guys. We can tie down skirmishers. That's great. We need better infantry. And to fit the theme of Archaon, Archaon doesn't walk around with marauder trash. Archaon brings the best of the Chaos Warriors and the Chosen. And so I think we need to make a little interesting switch here after a turn or two. So what I'm going to do is actually get rid of these Warhounds, and I'm going to really swap out for the poison ones. And I want plenty of poison on hand here for this, so we're going to go ahead and go into the recruiting on the next turn. I should have waited till the next turn to do this, but let's spend the skill points here on the horde growth. We just raised. I will see you on the other side of this turn end, and we'll start fixing up the troops. Alright, so the newly awakened tribe here that we brought in, Besornling, is going after the only easy target in Kislev, which is Volksgrad. I've played one of these campaigns before. Fort Ostrosk over here will be fortified. The settlement here at Prague will be fortified. Kislev will be fortified. We can't afford that right now, so that's why I'm not pushing south. The Awakened tribe has our back there for now. These dwarves are not going to be an easy push either. So, again, let's do a couple things here. One, let's get into the encamp stance. We need the growth. Look how much more growth we get in the encamp stance. Number two, we're going to come in here, do a little bit of quick recruiting. We're going to pick up a few more of these Warhounds with poison because they're just better. They poison the enemy units and they can help us route them quicker. So we're going to go ahead and replace the ones that we had with the poison variant. Then we're going to go ahead and merge some of these Marauders. Don't need to waste a spot with them right now, and that'll save me a little bit of upkeep. Let's go ahead and end this turn. I'll see you on the other end of that. Alright, during the turn in, Besornling destroyed Volksgrad, razed it to the ground, and apparently dedicated it to the crow there afterwards. So, yeah, and we finished our research here on the rituals of corruption, so now we gain more income from looting settlements. Magic is chaos. We've got a sorcerer now recruited to Archaon, so that is a big grab as well. And this is going to be a shadow sorcerer. We will take anything like this that we can get. Shadow sorcerer could be good because he can draw down the armor on the Dawi, so that could be helpful. Now here I'm going to take an interesting move. I'm going to destroy this trial pit here because we don't have the growth for the building that I want right now. I really want to start spamming out Chaos Warriors, so I need a blasphemous icon. And so what we're going to do is drop this and grab that because I now have the fast movers I need. But the risk that puts us at is we can't lose these fast movers because I can't re-recruit them after having made this move. Let's go for skulls for the Skull Throne. I need to hang on to my favor for now because we're going to try and recruit in a bunch of Chaos Warriors as soon as we get the blasphemous icon in our grasp. Again, our allies here doing a nice job of just pestering Kislev. These dwarves are really tanking up, but we're going to bring the heat when the time comes, and we are not going to let these dwarves off easy. So basically, we're going to get rid of all the Marauder trash here, and we're going to have a huge wall of shielded, armored Chaos Warriors to tie down the enemy, while Archaon puts the killing blows on their lord. Alright, after the turn-in, we've received a mission to raise... I can't say that. They want me to raise this dwarf port here. That would be a tall order indeed, as there is a significant amount of resistance there, as well as the garrison. So that would be suicidal, methinks. I'm going to come here, and we're going to get this blasphemous icon built, and we're going to start unleashing some true chaos, and all the while... Oh wow, it didn't give me the growth points back. I thought it would. From tearing that down, I guess I was wrong. I could have sworn it gave you growth points back, but still, whatever. We can build the blasphemous icon, recruit some troops, and at least get some troops that will help us hold the battlefield much better than Marauders. Alright, we've got the Boon of Tzeentch, which increases the income of all horde buildings. That does not appear to be helping me much. Vassal tribute. We were making more money a minute ago. Yeah, whatever. So we've got our blasphemous icon here. That actually took away some up... Oh, the reason why we were making more money is when I tore down the trial pit. Obviously, we lost the benefit of the decreased upkeep on the Marauder units that I have. All the more reason to cut these Marauder units that are going to be costing me the extra upkeep. In fact, let's cut several of them. And then we're going to go ahead and push forward. See, that opens up aspiring champions and other units that'll be useful to us. That cost me 1,500 favor. That is worth it at this point. And then we're going to come here and we're going to start stacking up on the big boys. So it'll be hard for enemies to deny us victory with a giant shielded armored line of Chaos Warriors in these early phases of the game, where it's unlikely that our enemies have much armor piercing at their disposal. Alright, so we are going to definitely be spending up all our favor with the gods to put together this army, but it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it. So here's what we're going to do. These Ever Wardens are now available to us. The Ever Wardens are armor-piercing magical attacks. This is one of those units that's coming in because of the mod. They're going to go nicely with our Chosen. And then we're going to want to get, we still have available to us 2 units that we can fill up in this army. So my thought process here is, let's get a Chaos Warrior with great weapons. And then I'm kind of thinking, oh man, I mean, an aspiring champion can be handy at the right time, but then not always my favorite thing. I think I'm just going to get another warrior with great weapons. So what this gives us is an armor-splitting center, and then our flanks will have heavily shielded units to collapse around the enemy and fall in and support our light units, and we'll use the Chaos Spawn for that same thing. They're no longer needed for anti-infantry work. They'll support our fast movers and help us get rid of all the annoying skirmishers that we're going to be running into. Skirmisher cavalry we will still have a weakness to, but with this many shields we can probably withstand non-armor piercing skirmish cavalry. And this will give us the infantry hit to just punch right through the center of the enemy. Alright, at the end of that turn, we're now running negative on favor with the gods, so we need to go spill blood to gain that favor back. We can get this for the blood god, which gives us extra attack from Khorne, or we can have this changes away from Tzeentch. Sorry, Tzeentch, your offer sucks. Blood for the blood god. Here we go. So we are going to move forward. I'm going to leave at least 5% here in order to allow us to go into the encampment. Now, hopefully the Dawi won't be able to get the reinforcements back in time, but they probably will. We don't really know everything that we're up against at the moment, but we got a heck of an army to put a beating down on some early game dwarves. Let's see what we can do. Alright, folks. So the pretenders have come. Wulfric declares war on us. We'll see in the end who's the true Lord of Chaos. Alright, the dwarves brought back all the reinforcements. There is going to be a lot of Dawi standing against us, and who knows everything we're up against, but do we back down? No, we don't. Chaos will be spread. Blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne. We attack. We attack. Now the dwarves have a considerable number of troops here, but we have good tools. We can make use of them. We can win. I'm going to fight this battle, and then I will record the post-battle footage so that I can fully focus on bringing a victory for Khorne here, as he granted us his favor. Alright, so here we are on the battlefield, and already the gods grant us great favor here, as some reinforcements are going to come on right next to me here, which gives me the opportunity to get my armor-piercing mulch brigade ready here. And we are going to hit the dwarves very hard right here out of the gate, right as they come onto the battlefield. This will force the reinforcements to come and see if they can save their Dawe kin. So we are going to immediately surround these Dawe, meaning to come onto the battlefield. I'm going to get these guys positioned, and we are going to bum rush these dwarves hard. I'm going to be a little bit bunched up, but it should be okay. So we need to knock out their reinforcements and knock them out fast. Anyway, I'll show you how it goes. Alright, welcome to the battlefield where the dwarves have started to enter. There was actually 2 places that the dwarves came onto the battlefield. I'll go overhead and show you their main army deployed here. And because CA still has the reinforcements rather strange, a huge portion of the reinforcements are coming on from the flank, which is absolutely perfect for me, and I'm going to capitalize on it by singling out and destroying the dwarf reinforcements, while their slow brethren deployed in the center of the battlefield will not have time to interfere. So I have a huge band of armor-piercing chaos here. I have my Chosen, and then here I have my Everwardens. These Everwardens, one of the special regiments renowned. There are Chaos Warriors with great weapons, and then there's even a Chaos Warrior with halberds. So everything and all things armor-piercing, headed straight towards the dwarves, and then making up my flanks, my heavily armored and shielded Chaos Warriors, not as good at piercing the armor, but very good at getting around the flanks and pressuring the skirmish units who won't be able to dish damage to them as quickly as they would the unshielded great weapon variants in my army. You can see the same thing on the other flank here. And for the dwarves, their lord immediately comes onto the battlefield and wants to rejoin his Dawe kin, so he's going to make a beeline for the center of the battlefield while his forces will be trapped and will be engaged. Let's take a look at what we are up against numbers-wise. If we just take a look here, we are at about 1,150 Chaos troops versus 2,373 dwarves on the battlefield. Let's watch as lines collide. Oh, hold on. Gotta get my buttons straight here. So the Everwardens and my Chosen will really be the key players in this battle in terms of just hacking their way through the dwarf main infantry. You're gonna see me focus some effort on the Everwardens with Archaon, and then I'm moving him and the Sorcerer to try and intercept the Dwarf Lord. I see a Grudge Thrower coming onto the battlefield, and immediately I'm going to pounce on it with my Chaos Spawn. It will not get a shot. I'm not going to allow it to kill any of my men. And I've got my Poison Warhounds moving in behind the lines as well. The Dwarf Lord is annoyingly going to be able to go join his reinforcements, but the coward has left his armies completely with no reinforcements and completely alone and surrounded. The pockets of dwarves that are held up by my non-armor piercing variants will last longer, and I'm now putting severe pressure. Here's the hammer, my great weapon variants, and then the anvil right now is actually my standard Chaos Warriors, and we have the dwarves completely pinched. I'll kind of give you the overhead look here. They are pinched badly. You can see the line of green here, and I've got my Chaos Warhounds. There are a few dwarf skirmisher units, like back here, these Thunderers somehow managed to punch through my line. I guess there was a gap somewhere, and they're able to get through, and they want to turn around and start firing. I see it, and I've got Marauder Horsemen moving to intercept, and then same thing out here. There are some Quarrelers that are attempting to do the same. So here I'm going to move my Marauder Horsemen around the corner, and I'll let you see the health bars for a while. Look at the Chosen with great weapons, 71 kills to 0 losses. The Everwardens, 64 kills to 0 losses. The Everwarden's not ideal against the dwarves though, as their magic attacks get some resistance from the Dawe. see here the Thunderers and these Quarrelers dealt with. Same thing on this flank. And then after having chased the enemy lord, Archaon and Appius. Well, I'm going to name him Appius. Got ahead of myself there. As Archaon and my Chaos Sorcerer fight their way in to the battle here. There's some foreshadowing. Look at this. The rout of the dwarves. They thought themselves strong, but were caught out of position by a tactically superior Archaon and completely superior infantry. Over here, I'm applying numbers to try and help rout these remaining forces as quickly as possible. The kin of the slain Dawi have seen what have happened, and they're not exactly pleased about it. Their lord marches across the frozen lands. Look at this. Look at this epic background here. Yes, we can. Warhammer 2. Oh man, it's beautiful. So there's a Thane, Dwarf Lord, and then there's a Rune Lord up there as well on top of the hill. These Dawi are not happy about their kin having been slain, and they wish to come rectify and pay back the grudges. You can see here some long beards amongst them, as well as miners, and there are a pretty good number of skirmishers. You can see quite a few Quarrelers working their way through here. More miners, and then on this far flank, a Quarreler. All these skirmishers are a big threat. I've slain the initial Dawi army, and my troops are going to reposition. When we take a look at the battlefield from an overhead standpoint once again, you can see this wooded area here at the back. I can use it to my advantage. There's quite a bit of buffer space here of woods, and I can use that buffer space to limit the range and effectiveness of the Dawi missiles rather than engaging them on open ground. So I'm going to take up a position with my main line kind of spread back here, and then as soon as the dwarves come up, it'll be somewhat like Kane. We collapse onto their flanks and hit them with our hardest troops in the center. That's where it's a little different. My weaker troops are actually on the flank, and then our fast movers will make a quick surrounding move, knock out the skirmishers, and then deliver the anvil strikes that we need. Alright, we join the Ever Wardens here on their charge as the Dawi have entered the forest and begun their attack. The Longbeards are here. Should be a very good target for the Ever Wardens. My Chosen are a little further flung over this direction. This is going to be a tough fight. There are a lot of Dawi here, and they have a lot of skirmisher support. I'm going to push forward with my Chaos Warriors here, and on both flanks to just engage the flank of the Dawi. I do not have enough forces to overlap and send my Chaos Warriors into their skirmishers, so we will immediately suffer a disadvantage here as 4 units of Quarrelers start to pour the wrath of their grudges into my warriors. But on this flank, I quickly get into a Quarreler unit that they had. There was 5 in total, I suppose. And I'm going to surround and destroy it. And then we're just going to start to pick off piecemeal every Dawi skirmisher that we can. The problem with Dawi skirmishers is that they are well armored, and they do not succumb easily to light Marauder and Warhound units. So they have to be surrounded and broken. And after breaking one, I'll surround and break the next. Let's give you a look at what the fight's doing here. Although my warriors with great weapons are performing extremely well, they're outnumbered right now. Archaon is busy dealing with the Thane, who originally charged him, and then there's a Dwarf Lord here. And then this is the Rune Lord of the main army that attacked us. This Lord here is the one who betrayed his entire army to save his own stunted skin. Archaon stabbing him in the back is very appropriate here. Here comes my Chaos Sorcerer also wanting in on the action. And the Dwarf Lord suffers mightily. The Ever Wardens, though, facing a stout resistance of Longbeards, Warriors, and Miners. And although they are getting an admirable number of kills, they are in rough shape. My Chosen with great weapons up to 153 under heavy Quarreler fire. But at this point, my Chaos Spawn was able to round the corners. We've gotten through our second unit of Quarrelers, and now the third can begin to fall, though you can see some regrouping in the background. They'll have to be the focus of some attention. You see me moving my Hounds to surround, and then the Chaos Spawn are going to go disrupt another skirmisher unit, which means at this point just one Quarreler now free to shoot me. The rest have all been engaged, and they're being destroyed systematically. But the fight has been very, very tough. You can see up on this flank, I'm outnumbered, and my Chaos Warriors, again, performing admirably, but overmatched for this fight. The Everwardens, in fact, down to only 25 warriors, but my Chosen were able to get free, as well as some other Chaos Warriors, and attack this blob in the back, and the Everwardens received the desperate reinforcements that they needed at this point. Archaon continues to pound away at this scummy Dwarf Lord, and after having rerouted the enemy Thane, my Sorcerer is back to do the same. You can see the Thane running in the distance. The Dwarf Lord is about to fall. His troops have already fallen, so his death won't necessarily have a huge impact on those immediately surrounding him. Between the Spawn and the Hounds, we've taken another unit of Quarrelers, and only one remains. However, my warriors over here are being overpowered by the Rune Lord and his Dwarf Warriors and Miners, and these Quarrelers have already amassed 20 kills, but they are about to be silenced as soon as I get the attack order clicked. I was busy somewhere else. Should be any moment here. Ah, it hurts me. There we go. So the Monsters of Chaos silencing the last Quarreler unit there. And then my Marauder Horsemen are chasing off the ones that are regrouping, as well as one more Warhound unit. In the center, the Dwarf Lord fell, and now his warriors fall with him. The Everwardens, the strongest of them, have survived. It would almost be kind of cool if they had like an aspiring champion with great weapon, so I could have turned, like made a unit of aspiring champions, and then we could have pretended that it was these individuals who fought so bravely in this battle. But the Dwarf Lord falls, my Chosen are now free, and the rest of the dwarves rout in an epic victory for Archaon over the Dwarfs of Kraka Drak. Let's be honest, folks. Do any really have a chance in the face of the Everchosen and his troops? Just look at the massacre at the hands of those Chosen. 198 kills, 198 stunties felled by just 60 warriors. It's an appropriate result. I will see you all back on the battle map. And for the favor of the gods, we will raise the settlement. Okay, there was about a day in between where I recorded that and where I've started now. Doesn't it feel good to have those dwarves beat down? The apocalypse beginning for the stunted ones, their beards reeking of ale, crawling out from their holes underground. Archaon teaches them who is the true power in this world, and it is not them. It is not their ironclad, stunted scum. Anyway, we took them out. Archaon does have a skill point. I want to use this, see if we can use it on something smart. It would be nice to have his, it'd be nice to have some more of his magic. Piercing Bolts of Burning is really good against blobs. Of course, Dominating Presence is very good too. Challenge here, actually, sorry, I have a stupid update thing that keeps asking me to update. The challenge here is what we want to upgrade here. I think Blessed by Chaos is good because it hits Chaos Warriors, Spawn, and Chosen. Chosen, we know that'll work good for Archaon in the long run because, again, for those of you who maybe didn't see it, go back to the first part, but Archaon's army is going to focus around Chosen and Knights. So we're really probably going to focus everything into Blessed by Chaos and Hammer and Anvil, but in order to do that, we've got to have Dominating Presence. There's other good stuff that we want from Archaon. And like I said, don't get me wrong, I want that magic pretty badly. But for now, I think I'm going to try and get us some Blessed by Chaos. And we've got this Shadow Sorcerer that maybe will pour some stuff into magic here. Because I'm not worried about spreading corruption, blocking, stealing technology. So let's pour some magic into his tree here. If we can get to Enfeebling Foe, that would be a pretty big deal. Enfeebling Foe, Withering is another good one. Takes away armor and affects an area of effect. Takes away leadership as well. Alright, we are ready to end a turn. I can't go into any stances because we just got finished raising this settlement. And boy, does it feel nice. We've got a lot of favor. The Chaos Gods are very pleased with what we've done to these stunties, so it's time for the lure of dark promises and then on to the erection of ruinous monuments. During the turn end, we've had an opportunity for an underway interception as the drunken stunty fools attempt to flee back to their hold. So this would be a good opportunity for us. I do want to keep certain units out of combat so that I don't have to re-recruit them. So yeah, let's go in here and smash these fleeing stunties. Alright, here we are on the battle map, and these tiny filth are over here on their hill. And I'm going to show them just how serious I am about being the real power in these parts. Archaon and his Chosen are going to KO the dwarves entirely by themselves. I am using one unit of Chaos Warriors, the standard variety here, just potentially for some missile shield. But if I can take out their grudge thrower real quick, we won't have to worry about that. So let me just get a couple of move orders set, and then I'll make sure you all get plenty of cinematics of just Archaon and his Chosen smashing everything the dwarves bring to the battlefield. We're getting cocky at this point. That's okay. It's okay. Khorne will be pleased. At least I think he will. Doggies, get them. Who let the dogs out, folks? I need that like on my soundboard right now. Alright, so our Warhounds with poison. Gotta get rid of the grudge thrower. None of that garbage. We're gonna have a real man-to-man or man-to-stunted fight here. Alright, we have beat up that grudge thrower considerably, but it is unfortunately still alive. Let's split these forces. Get another charge in on it real quick and silence it for good. I can probably get it right here. Yep. Got it. Alright. We can now do whatever we want to the remaining stunty infantry. The dogs have done their job, and these Chaos Warriors are no longer needed. Appreciate the bravery, but this is a fight for only the Chosen of Khorne. The Chosen of the Chaos Gods. Alright, folks. 56 Chosen plus Archaon. That means 57 versus 585. Oh, yeah. I'm going to let my men rest, and I will cut in to where the battle begins, and we start letting some stunty heads roll. Alright, for Slaaneish's glory here. What do they say for Slaaneish's perverse glory? I think that's it. Here comes Archaon. Let's use the cascading fire cloak, and then I'll get you more close-ups. Let you watch Archaon in here. His Chosen, now swaddled in their cascading cloak, as they start to chop these stunty scum. Man, those guys got some stats right now. Alright, let's see if we can go for the Rune Lord. Let's make sure my attack order gets laid down on the... Oh, yeah. We got an active attack order on the Rune Lord. My Chosen are cutting their way through the infantry, so they should help me even that fight. Though right now you can see Archaon's going to be taking a lot of hits from the Dwarf infantry. But I'm not scared. At least I don't think I am. That Rune Lord is being very resistant, but already 82 kills on the Chosen. Come on, Archaon, focus. Focus on the Rune Lord. Chop up the glowing stunty. My Chosen are rapidly cutting their way through the dwarf support. Oh, yeah. 127 kills and climbing. Oh, did I count the numbers wrongly? No, I think I had the dwarf numbers correct. Alright, everybody on the runesmith. Or the rune lord. Archaon punishes those who do not join chaos. Let's take out these warriors with great weapons who are regrouping. Man, he is an imposing figure here. Alright, drop the dwarf. Drop and chop. Chop and drop. Come on, give him the business. How is a dwarf faster than us? I mean, I know chaos is slow. We gotta start running laps, boys. Archaon's gonna get him out on the tundra and have him running laps. They got outrun by a drunk stunty. I looked at the wrong numbers. Here's the results screen. There was 250 Dawi against the roughly 60 between Archaon and his chosen. Easy victory. Easy victory. We're going to take the favor. We've picked up an armor of silvered steel. Extra 10 armor for Archaon. He has magic resistance at this point too. Could be helpful for the time being until we get our hands on some legendary items. Alright, we're through the turn in. We've got the armor of silvered steel. We finished the lure of promises. The dark lure of promises. There's a winds of pain right now, which gives extra winds of magic to all factions for all armies. Let's begin this ruinous monuments. And we really need to camp and get some growth. We are at 2 population surplus. 2 things need to happen for me to get the Planetkin of Trophies and unlock Chaos Knights. I need 4 population surplus and then 6 more for the Planetkin of Trophies. So yeah, we've got a lot of population surplus to get through. When we raise a settlement, you do have the option of getting that extra surplus, but I feel like at this point we're better off to take the favor, and we're getting 15 growth for every turn where we are in an encamped stance. So makes us pretty potent at this point. Let's begin down this tree here. My warriors will now be blessed by chaos, so that's going to give them 4 melee defense extra, and then the next 2 we pick up 6 melee defense, 6% weapon strength, and then 12% weapon strength and 8 melee defense, which will make my chosen an insane force to be reckoned with, especially when you take into account stuff like this, where the Abyss Forged Armor makes, hang on, it's this one right here, Chosen Ones, gives 12% physical resistance to all Chaos Chosen. That's on top of the 5% ward save, and then there's an additional 8 melee defense. So our Chosen are going to get very, very powerful. Very powerful. Alright, during the turn end here, Morlock of Clan Molder wishes for a non-aggression pact. I mean, I don't think it's entirely possible for me to... Nah, I don't want to do it. I don't feel like making friends with the rats. What do you all think? Is it lore-friendly enough? Can Archaon try to use the rats for his purposes? Let me know. Tell me what you think. Make your comments. There's been a confederation of Varg and Vanaheimlings. This shouldn't be a big deal. A couple of sub-Norska factions joining forces. Let's move forward. Hit our encamp stance. And we're going to take care of this Kazid Bordkarag, or however you say it. See you on the another turn end here. Alright, here at the end of the turn, we've gotten this volatile vortex message. The great warding teeters on its axis and weakens for a moment. Before it recovers, winds of magic burst forth. So we have an additional 20 winds of magic in the reserve and 25 as a starting amount. But there's a increase in base miscast. That's on top of the winds of pain, so there's going to be a lot of magic out there. For 2 more turns, we get the +6 melee attack on the For the Blood God, our blessing from Khorne. We do have the points to level up our Warband of Chaos to the Unholy Legion, Unholy indeed. Let's go ahead and do that on this turn, and then on the next turn, we attack. Also, there was a skill point on Hivald Horstman, our Chaos Sorcerer. But I had made a promise to Appius. If any of you watched my videos a long time ago, my West Roman campaign, we had two very famous characters in that campaign, Sextus and Appius. Both of them were parts of the West Roman Empire and played a lot of fun role. The sorcerer, I've been told, is going to be Appius, and as soon as we have a chance and we get an exalted hero, it's going to be Sextus. So this is going to be Appius. Sorry, I can't type. Appius Rolus. Chaos Roman. Can it fit? Oh yeah, we got it. There we go. No armors for you though, Appius. Not yet. See you all on the next turn, and as far as the skill point, the Withering be a great start. Alright, after the turn in, you can see that the Stunties are rebuilding their forces. No matter to me. We've accomplished a massive defeat of them once. We can do it again. Their settlement lies ripe for the pickings, ripe for destruction. Not worth my time of even fighting. We'll resolve it, take the decisive victory. We gain a significant amount of loot. An arcane item. We've picked up a forbidden rod. That'll be very helpful for Archaon to help summon up additional winds of magic. It does cause damage to self though, so use in the right scenarios. We will loot and raise once again, building our favor. We want to build it to ludicrous levels so that we don't have to try and turn a profit with our horde armies, and we will still field chosen and knights and start to just mop the floor with settlement after settlement, amassing more favor from the Chaos Gods, in which we can summon Sigvald and his army, and eventually Kolek and his army. We do need to awaken some more tribes. We will do that as soon as we move in against some of the different Norscan tribes. Alright, the turn has ended. We've been given a mission towards the Slayer of Kings, one of our legendary items. We need to construct a Chaos War Shrine, which I actually believe we've done, and we gained 1,500 favor. Maybe we have not. Let me see what that tier is real quick. We have a Ruinous Altar. It's actually the next one. So if we construct that Chaos War Shrine, which gives us access to Chosen and another one of our regiments of renown, the Reavers of Nightfaith, then we'll be able to move towards the Slayer of Kings. But I've noticed during the turn-in that our awakened tribe has laid siege to Kislev, and then we've also got Fort Straghov over here, and I'm actually very tempted here to push forward towards our allies and then see if we can pick off this stray settlement and then possibly move in and help with the fall of Prague here, make some more money, and keep the support of our awakened tribe for the moment while their usefulness still means something to me. Go into the encamp stance. We need the growth. This will put us at 2 population surplus. Remember, we need 6 to build the Planikin of trophies. Alright, during the turn-in, the von Karsteins went on the move against the Empire sub-factions, and the Barrow Legion declares war on Franz. And in other news, turn-in news, here it is. Turn-in news, HeirofCarthage edition. In this chaos invasion, no, okay, seriously though, the siege of Prague went awry, and our Besornling tribe was beaten down, and now this leaves 2 armies of Kislev ready to face us. It is a somewhat scary prospect based on the sheer number of pistoliers in which we could face. So it is a bit frightening. There's also the extra garrison forces that would come in from Fort Ostrosk. We cannot fight from within that sphere of influence, though it would be interesting to try and take on these 2 armies of trashy state troops. The difficulty will be in dealing with their skirmish cavalry. I think at this point, I'm going to move slightly. I'm going to move to this point, and I'm going to go ahead and encamp. This will allow me to continue to build up my forces to full strength. We're very close, and we could possibly end up with a fight on our hands from Kislev, which would be very entertaining for you. Hopefully we'll get that. Anyway, that will come on the next episode, a huge fight with Kislev after we've had a huge fight with the Dwarves of Kraka Drak. After that, once we've gained the strength and we've gotten our Planikin of trophies, I have the heavy cavalry behind me. We will go and subjugate Wulfric the Wanderer and Throg, the disgusting troll. Anyway, hope you all have enjoyed this so far. I'm having a lot of fun with it. Remember, leave your comments. Help guide the campaign. Tell me what you think the themes and the objectives need to be. We have to prepare for the arrival of Sigvald once we've had a chance to go after Norska. He'll be here. We need to think about his army. I know that he was like a champion of Slaanesh, I think. So we'll have to think of an army focused on that. I think that we would have to have his mirror guard, like stuff like Chaos Spawn, maybe. I mean, whatever it is that goes along with that. Feed me your ideas. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see the next episode, make sure to subscribe and click that bell. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it. And if you didn't like it, well, tough luck. Get ready. The next episodes are coming. And if you didn't like it, seriously though, tell me what I can do better. HeirofCarthage signing out. See you next time.